Invisible zip. We're going to put the right side together of our zip, and we know the right side of our zip because there's a zipper pull. Right side of our zip goes to the right side of the fabric, and we're going to pin it in place. Can anyone remember the very first step we do when we after we pinned in our zip in place? Stay stitch. God, I taught you guys good. Okay, the first thing we need to do is check that the distance between the cut edge and the top of our stopper is 13 mils. 1 centimetre for seam allowance, 3 centimetres for ease, because when it rolls over the top. Okay, mine's probably a fraction less, so I'm moving it a bit so that it's more like 13 mils. Grab out your tape measure and check it. Not that pin it in place. Okay, I'm still leaving my, and your zip should, remember, invisible zip should always be longer than your zip that you're stitching in. I'm going to stay stitch that in place. Really important when you do that initial seam allowance, that first stitch line here, absolutely make sure it's 1 centimetre. If it's smaller than a centimetre, it's going to make your life really hard when you're stitching in this invisible zip. So it must be 1 centimetre. Any loose threads, give them a clip and trim. I'm only going to stay stitch right to where my zipper opening starts. So that's my opening here, and that's where I'm starting my stay stitch. Stay stitch, what don't we need to do on a stay stitch? Thank you very much. Okay, now I've done one side, I'm going to zip up my other side. To be able to stitch the other side, make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, you want to sit, I don't want to be pulling that way or pulling that way. Make sure it's sitting nice and flat. Pin it so it's sitting nice and, I'm pinning at the, you can notice I'm pinning at the bottom for a start, because that's what I want to be nice and flat so there's no tucks in it. I'm going to get my zipper head out of the way. Make sure it's level at the top. I know that by the same amount of tape coming out of the top. And taut, pinning, do whatever you need to do. Edge of my zipper tape on the edge of the overlocking, needle down in the zipper tape, pull that head out of the way again so I can keep stitching all the way down. Whenever you lift up your foot, make sure that needle is in that fabric, otherwise it will move and groove around. Okay, now that I've stay stitched in place, what's my next step? Thank you very much for coming. Love it. Love it when you guys know what you're doing. Find one. Can't find the zipper book. Ah. Seriously, this is hilarious. Ah, here we go. Let's just put, thank you. Put that needle in the up position when I'm changing my feet. Change it over to invisible zipper foot. Macaroni, man. That was tight. Someone with muscles did that one up. Okay, hold my 2 threads, put that needle down through the bottom of my, the thread has to go down to the bottom of my hole. Alrighty, now, when we're stitching our invisible, who's sewn an invisible zip recently? No, so. Okay, remember we need to pull that zipper head way out of the way now that we're stitching. So we get that zipper head, we tuck it through the bottom of our hole, grab through the other side, grab that zipper head, pulling right out of the way. And now because our stay stitch will hold it in place. We should be able to do both sides. The tricks with when we're doing a zipper, invisible zipper foot, is make sure that if you're stitching, your needle to be on this side of the teeth, make sure that you're in the left-hand channel so that your needle comes down on this side. Don't put it in the right-hand channel, otherwise you'll be stitching out here and that's no good. That's not attaching your zip to your fabric. We need to back tack, absolutely back tack, because this is a stitch row. Back tack. as we're stitching, we're going to roll those teeth out. So with my left hand here, I'm rolling those teeth out, giving it a little bit of a pull to keep it nice and taut at the same time. Rolling teeth out, taut, rolling teeth out. When I get to the end, I'm lining it up so that it makes my life easy. Keep the other one out of the way. We're going to stop exactly where we stitched on that centre back seam. Exactamundo to the minuto. See if you need a pin there, because I can't quite see it. It's going to be concealed by my teeth. I'm just going to put a pin right there so that it reminds me. That's where I'm stopping. When I roll my teeth out, I lose that spot. I think. Perfect. Back tack him. Okay, that's one side done. Now the other side. Okay, stick him up the other channel. Make sure that if he's in the right hand channel, and when we're stitching on this side, make sure you're catching fabric to zip. Back tack. Roll out those teeth. Hold it a little bit taut. Just lining up my work so that it makes my life easier. And remember, you remember the most common thing that was happening when we were learning to do it was that you were getting a bubble or excess fabric bobbling up in here. If you seem to see that start happening, correct it, which means you need to pull this a little bit to get it flatter, okay? Or needle down in your fabric, give it a little bit of a pull when you lift up your foot, okay? If you start, come and ask me if you don't want that happening. Okay, I do a crossover, so it's like your zip crosses over, because that zip teeth is my stop sign. Okay, it's easier if you have them going down like that, it'll force it the other way, but if you can cross them over, it's a much easier way to cope with the bulk, and it also tells you exactly where your stop sign is, because those teeth are right there. Literally into it and reverse. Pull it out. First thing I'm going to do is check. Check, check, check. So, tuck my zipper head, pull that way, and actually pull it all the way up. Okay, it'll come all the way up. Let's have a look. Two things I'm checking for. What are they? Puckering where? At the bottom. Perfect. And what's the other thing I'm looking for? Coverage. Beautiful. Well done, guys. Okay, so I'm looking for the bottom of my zip. Is there a tuck or a pleat at the bottom? No, it should be nice and flat like that. And that's perfect. And coverage. Am I covering my teeth? I don't want to pull it like that. If I do pull it like that, you can see where my coverage is not happening. It's not covering properly here, and it's not quite covering properly down here on this side. Okay, so all that means if my coverage isn't good, I just need to, don't have to unpick anything. Go back in again in those little sections and literally just back tack, stitch, back tack, just in the sections I need to. And when I'm going through, because I know that this section here is a section I need to get closer to, when I'm going through into it, to get closer, you've just got to give a bit more of a pull. Okay, and what I'm pulling is to get closer to, that needle gets closer to my teeth, I'm going to pull it this way so that the needle gets in a little bit closer to my teeth. Okay, back tack, and just go over the sections that you need to, and then it's done. Okay, thanks guys.